yourself.
Hey, everybody. It's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Konowitz, and with me, as always, is the clarinet to my trumpet, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me.
No, okay, I immediately regret doing that. And you know what? The drum set to my trumpet, Nate Loucks.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, cool cats.
Do a trumpet sound. Not bad. It's pretty good.
Mouth trumpet. I played trumpet, and that's why I did that. And Rune just got to choose, and he also chose trumpet. My 11-year-old, now 11-year-old.
Yeah.
He chose the trumpet, and I got to see the old music instructor that I took private lessons from, and it was a very full circle moment. I talked to my friend Katie, and I had given her my trumpet. She gave it back to me so Rune can use it. It was a cool family moment, guys. Pretty cool.
So you're both putting your mouths on the same trumpet?
No, there's a different mouthpiece. Why do you got to make it weird?
Clean it?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Don't make it weird.
It's all your spit resin in it.
Good God. It gets completely professionally cleaned and worked on before.
Were you a trumpeter?
No, not a trumpeter. First of all, did he get to wear the sorting tuba?
You think it's a sorting tuba?
Yeah, well, when
it's like a sorting hat and they put it over you?
Yeah, when I did Ben, they put the tuba on you and it tells you.
It was basically they put a tuba on you and it's like, tuba.
Yeah.
And then the next thing comes, tuba.
Trombone.
They had to get rid of that because it kept saying tuba.
Yeah, it just wanted all the kids for the tuba. I did band. I didn't do trumpet. I played baritone, which is like the mini tuba, basically. And it's also like if you played a trombone, but it was like a stand-up instrument, like the tuba, essentially.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, just in middle school, I did that. And
what chair? What chair were you?
I was first the entire time, baby.
How many people were there though?
Just 3.
What? I was gonna say, let's look at the survivorship bias here.
No, but I will toot my own horn. Pun intended. I was very good because I was asked to be in jazz band by the band leader at the time, Mr. Allen, who I didn't like.
So you said no?
Oh,
no, I did do jazz band.
Oh,
my parents encouraged me to do it because it was like an extracurricular thing. Mm-hmm. But I because it was jazz band, the baritone is not generally considered to be in jazz band, so I had to play the trombone. But they.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
By the way, I wish listeners could see. As soon as he was looking at Ben, and as soon as Ben did that, he just looked at me really quick. Just blocked Ben out.
I was still talking.
I know how to block Ben out.
They gave me a valve trombone because obviously
you're still doing this. Okay,
it's a slide. No, I don't play anymore. It's a slide on the trombone, but it was valve, so I could play.
So you were one of 3.
One in the regular band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Andrew Pappas and Tom Floyd were the other 2 baritones.
Okay.
We had
I was first chair, Brad.
We had to play Star Wars.
I was first chair trumpet out of 13. Okay, so there's some real competition there.
Not in middle school band.
Oh yeah, there was.
No.
The 2 dudes that were I was fighting all the time for first chair. They're now doctors.
Yeah, they're not playing trumpet anymore.
Exactly. And then in 8th grade, I was 14th. Because I found girls in basketball.
Yeah.
So that was no longer a priority for old Ben.
Yeah, he was definitely putting his mouth on other stuff.
Not to toot my own horn, but I was pretty good at that.
I'll bet you were.
No. Not basketball.
No.
No, yeah. The other thing.
Fondling balls.
No.
Your own.
Oh. This got way off the rails real quick. Hey, guys, welcome to a movie podcast where we talk about movies, the latest movies we've seen.
Originally, I wanted to play French horn because of Star Wars.
Oh, my God. Okay, Brad.
That's about movies. Star Wars. The French horn is the instrument that does the main theme.
That's a French horn?
Yeah, and it was so fucking hard to play. I couldn't get it to make a proper sound. I was like, well, there goes that dream.
The dream of playing French horn
that
all young men have.
Of course.
So did you bring a sponsor?
Oh, I almost forgot, but then I remembered I had one in the car. I always keep treats in my car.
I was going to say, he legitimately said, oh, shit, I forgot the sponsor this week. And he goes, wait. And I'm not joking. He goes, wait, I have something in my car.
It's okay.
I'm not sure that I love this.
No, it's fine. It's not melty chocolate.
Okay, good.
So
it was a hot day today too, by the way.
Yeah, so otherwise it would have been super melty. So Nate, go ahead. Don't look at the front of the bag.
We know the rules. This is not
how long has this been open?
This is not our
it hasn't been open.
First rodeo. We've been on the podcast many times. We know not to look at the front of the bag.
Don't look at the front of the bag.
Oh my God.
Be careful.
Ash is going to take a handful as well.
Don't look at the front of the bag.
I'll have one. And then Ash is going to bed. She's like, I don't want to deal with this shit. She literally took a handful and just went upstairs.
She's just waiting for the snack. Nate, you know what to do.
Well, it's definitely a bugle.
Good job. You guessed the shape. Speaking of band.
Is that man, what is that? Is that like a...
There's not a strong... Oh, there's a...
No, there's an
There's an
after.
after.
There's an after. Exactly.
Oh, there it is.
Originally, I was like, that's just a bugle. Oh, wait. Is that like an artichoke dip?
No, what?
Is that like a spinach and artichoke dip?
No. Ugh.
That's kind of what it tastes like.
That's interesting. No.
It mixes well with Jack Daniels and Diet Coke.
These are, I think your taste buds are...
Oh, yeah, they're broken.
This is Tabasco flavored bugles.
So,
I don't like
artichoke
I'm
dip?
surprised you got that. You usually don't like hot stuff.
So these are
No, you got to remember, this was just in his car. This was not purposeful.
These got sent to me, but they're hot and cheesy. So maybe that's where you got the little bit of...
Okay,
yeah.
no, that's fair. Because honestly, so I've had spicy artichoke dip before.
Okay.
No, that tracks. No,
Yeah.
I can feel a little bit of the afterburn.
What do you think, Nate?
Is it too spicy for you,
Yeah,
buddy?
it's too spicy for me.
See, I like that.
I'm not a big spicy snacks fan either.
Yeah, you can leave those here if you want.
Okay.
I'd have one.
You like putting them on your fingers and acting like they're claws?
I have not been able to do that since I was in 5th grade because my hands are ginormous.
Well, you just put them on the end of your little
Nope,
tips.
they will pop off immediately. My hands are so big, and I'm not saying this to be a bit or whatever. They're just I just got sausage fingers. I've never been able to do that. My fingers are so wide that I could never do it. I'm not joking. Like 5th grade, they wouldn't fit.
You just put them on the tips.
They don't fit, Brad.
I don't think you've tried it.
These are like gorilla paws. They're just stupid. They get in the way. I can't do anything that requires small tools. Like I can't work. Like if you, hey, take that small, sunglasses screwdriver and do something with it for a toy for the boys. Nope. It's all just, meh. This is fucking insane, stupid big paws.
Yeah, but it's probably because you're drunk.
No. The other day, this is a true story. The other day, Rune, for his birthday, he's so innocent. He wanted a propeller hat, like a beanie.
Yeah.
So we bought him one on Amazon or whatever. It was $7. And it's just this plastic propeller. He's wearing it around the party. He's happier than a pig and shit. And he comes inside and somebody had stepped on it and broken the propeller.
Oh.
And so I grabbed some Scotch tape and I taped it and I ran it through the top of the thing and I'm trying to make it work again. And it's so small, and I've been working on this, and it wasn't working because the Scotch tape was getting in the way of the propeller, and it just wasn't working. And this is 5 minutes in, right? And I'm really clamping down to make sure it's tight, and my hands start shaking because I'm pressing it so hard. And he goes, "Wow, your hands are really shaky." And I'm like, yeah, and in my head, I'm like, it's not from the booze. I'm not even drinking today.
Bubba hasn't had his first drink
that's
yet.
why they're shaking.
It was so funny, though, the way he said it, because he was earnestly surprised by how much they were shaking. Wow, your hands are really shaky. Like he's never seen somebody have shaky hands before. You know what? Fine. I've got a problem. No, but happy birthday, Rin, buddy. You're 11 and I love you.
He listens.
He's a listener.
He's one of our avid listeners of this podcast.
I need him to be. Brad? Let me ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite summertime memory with Tabasco?
None.
Okay. What's the last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw was an assignment given to me by my old buddy Nate.
Hey.
I wasn't expecting you to assign me a movie like this, and I'm really interested to hear why this movie is part of your
porn
repertoire and why you wanted to suggest it. But the movie is called Bugsy. And it stars Warren Beatty as Bugsy Malone, the famed mobster, and Annette Bening, who is Warren Beatty's real life wife, is also in it, which is a lot of fun. And I was just kind of surprised by getting assigned this movie. So I'm curious what your experience with it was and why you suggested it.
So I think our listeners need to know that when we suggest movies to each other, sometimes we've got a master list of how many films do you think are on there, Ben?
Honestly, I think it's like 5,600.
Yeah, and we go through there, and we have spent countless hours Xing out the movies that we've seen.
So before Nate finishes his story, I'm going to make a prediction. Is that he hasn't seen this movie?
Nope.
He doesn't know what it is,
No.
and he didn't know what he was assigning me.
No, I've seen this film. I promise
Okay.
you, I've seen this film. I saw this film when I was young, though.
Oh, interesting.
But I did assign you a couple films before we got here, and you had either seen the films and not marked it off on the list, and or I forget. There was another something else that I think happened.
You're thinking of the previous week when you tried to give me Revenge of the Nerds and you had to switch movies.
Oh, that was another. Yeah, it was Revenge of the Nerds because you didn't want to watch that.
That was a different time, and no, it's because it's not streaming or available for digital rental anywhere.
You can rent it at Blockbuster.
I don't think you know what's happening in the world today.
And so, but anyway, so I remember thinking, I got to give Brad a film. I've seen Bugsy. I remember liking Bugsy, but I have not watched Bugsy in 25 years.
Oh, boy.
Would I not like Bugsy if I rewatched it?
It's a good movie. It's solid. I mean, it was.
I also was kind of going through. I remember I was young when I watched this, like 15 maybe, and I remember going through like an era of
idolizing mobsters.
Yeah, there was a mobster era that I went through, and I liked this. I also Warren Beatty was kind of at the height of his career here too. He was doing some really great stuff. And so I remember liking this film. I'm getting a vibe that you didn't.
No, I did. It's a good movie. It's it was nominated for several Oscars. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening were both nominated. It has a bit of an inconsistent tone. Sometimes it feels like they're going for like a dark comedy at times, almost like a Wolf of Wall Street vibe. And then it also gets very serious. And so it follows Bugsy Malone, who's this mobster, as he makes starts to kind of create a new sort of like criminal like business organization in Los Angeles. And Bugsy is very brash, very cocky, just makes quick split decisions. He's never really worried about money and kind of throws it around maybe when he shouldn't. And he has these like fits where he really just gets pissed off and mad and like gets physical and violent.
Is it because like he's made his own bed type stuff, where he makes an impulsive decision that comes out to haunt him? Or
no, not necessarily. Sometimes it does, but most of the time he just does things whenever and whatever he wants to do. So like he shows up in Los Angeles. He's driving around with his friend played by Joe Mantegna, who's an actor in Los Angeles, and after he meets him and gets together with him, they're driving around like Beverly Hills area and stuff, and he was like, who lives in that house? And he was like, oh, so-and-so, the opera singer. And he's like, stop. And he runs up and he goes into the house and like asks to meet with the guy and offers him $60,000 cash to buy his house up front. And then like after that, they're out and about, and he sees this guy, and he was like, hey, that's a nice car. And the next shot you see him driving the car, because he's just throwing his money around. If he wants it, he tries to buy it and gets it.
What's the big deal?
Any hoozle. But no, it's Warren Beatty is great in this. He has many times when like he just gets crazy angry and like flies off the handle. This has vibes of Wolf of Wall Street, I think, like I said. Also a little bit of The Aviator, funnily enough. There's definitely flares of Scorsese here. But before either of those movies came along, which was really interesting to see. But yeah, this is kind of the drama like they don't really do very often anymore. But and it's also, I found, because I had to go look stuff up after the movie, because the way it presents it is that that Bugsy was kind of the person who like sparked the rise of Las Vegas, essentially, because like he saw an opportunity in like the dead desert area where there was like this shitty casino that he initially shut down that was part of organized crime, and he wanted to turn it into something big. But he was actually like the third person to build a hotel out in Vegas, and it was already starting to rise up. And so they kind of make it seem like he's the one who had the grand idea to turn Vegas into something profitable as like a gambling place and whatnot. And then like there's a whole thing where he gets this idea that he can basically like end the war or like stuff if he goes and kills Mussolini himself. Like he has a woman that he's been,
and this isn't a fever dream, this is like part of the movie.
It's part of the movie.
Oh wow.
There's a woman that he's been like having an affair with. He has affairs with many women, and
what's wrong with that?
Her husband is like close with Mussolini, and so like he tries to use her to like get a meeting with Mussolini because he thinks that he could easily assassinate him and makes things easier. But he actually didn't want to do that in real life. There was a dictator that he famously did actually want to try to assassinate,
Hitler,
but it wasn't Mussolini. But yeah, no, this movie was really interesting. The performances are great.
So overall,
I liked it. It's it's this similar to The Devil's Advocate. It's also kind of like a sexier movie here and there. Not quite as like in your face.
Yeah.
With it.
But back then they still felt like that needed to be an element.
Yeah, because the romance that he has with Annette Bening's character is like a full on part of like how his character.
It's
proceeds.
crazy that they did that back then, where it was like, we've got to make this steamy, otherwise people won't tune in. And it's like that's actually people don't need that as much, or maybe they did in the 90s.
All right. And put a little bit of steamy saxophone there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a part that you would love.
Or trumpet.
Ben, you would love this part where
The Predator shows up.
he's very mad. He's just gotten an argument with Annette Bening, but then like he shows like how intimidating he is by like yelling at somebody else, and he goes back and sits down to eat his meal, and while he's sitting there like just shoveling rice and shrimp into his mouth, she comes and she starts like kissing his ear and kissing his neck, and I was like, oh, Ben would love this.
Why would I love that?
Well, you just love eating and getting it
What? Come on, man.
at the same time.
I'm not Costanza with a ham sandwich here. Like, I'm not trying to.
He's eating like shrimp with rice.
Do you think that that's what I would like about it? Is because I get to eat and then also get turned on?
Yeah,
Like, I'm not going to be already turned on by eating?
that's a good point.
Come on, man. You know me a little better than that. All right, what else did you see?
I've been to the theaters several times over the past couple of weeks.
This is a big sigh.
The movie theater, Ben.
Which, was it some French film?
You're an asshole.
I don't know, man.
You're hurting his feelings now.
I just know that this is going to be 20 minutes
I
of
saw
stuff I don't care
Le
about.
Petit Déjeuner. No, first of all, I saw Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
Is that how you're going to have to say it?
That's how you guys say it.
You got it. They're asking you. Marvel said you have to pronounce it,
Pronounce it.
otherwise you cannot reveal what you thought of it.
I will say Marvel was very insistent on putting the asterisk in like promotional materials and like that, even to the point where if the movie was playing at a theater that had a marquee, they wanted the asterisk on the marquee.
And I wonder why.
I could tell you, but it's a bit
It's
of
a
a
bit of a
spoiler.
spoiler.
I'm surprised you haven't had it spoiled for you by now.
They're not really Thunderbolts. No, I haven't seen it at all. Yeah.
You saw Thunderbolts, right, Nate?
Yes. Can we talk about it?
No.
Hey, no.
Moving on. No, go ahead.
Why?
Talk about Thunderbolts.
Come on, don't.
We're not going to spoil it. It's okay if you spoil it.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's been out.
2
You
weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Hey, if you care, you'd have seen it by now.
Oh my God. The listener doesn't want to have it spoiled for them.
They've already seen it.
They haven't.
They have.
Joe Wicker's seen it.
Absolutely.
Mike Flores.
Absolutely.
Mitch.
Absolutely.
You don't even know if it's out there yet.
It is.
It's
it
out in
hasn't
New
made
Zealand.
its way in New
It's
Zealand.
not.
Yeah,
Mitch.
no.
It's
Mitch.
everywhere.
It's on
Mitch,
on the boat.
tell
It's on the
me
boat
it's
on
not-
the way over.
Okay, that's offensive somehow.
It's
No, it
worldwide.
is. It's literally on the boat on the
Mitch,
way over.
please tell us when
Tariffs.
it comes out.
Tariffs are very expensive.
It's worldwide. Thunderbolts worldwide.
Okay, boats and hoes.
Nate,
Fine. What do talk about spoilers? I guess whatever.
what do you think about Thunderbolts?
Gosh, I hate you guys. I used to. This used to be a proper country.
I have,
Where you
as
should
listeners
see
of this
films.
podcast know, I try to find silver linings for Marvel because Marvel has played such a pivotal role in my film enjoyment over the last 15 years. And so if I can like a film from Marvel, I will try to like a film. And so there have been some mediocre films that I've said, I enjoyed it, right? This film, I was actually moved by this film. And it might be because, sad boy Nate likes a sad boy film. And there's a lot of emotional angst in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I also like a good team film. I like a good Marvel team film.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely liked this film. Like I really enjoyed not just okay, the cast is great. I think the story made sense. I really like the it was the first time that I've seen, I think, maybe a Marvel film since Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that I felt the emotional resonance of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that.
Yeah, I think this movie is very good as well. There might be a part of it is just because it's nice to have something that feels a little different and does strike a different tone than the more bland Marvel stuff we've gotten in the past couple years or so. And this one really, I think it plays against what you expect from a Marvel movie in several ways. It's more mature, it's more patient, it's a bit darker. And even the third act, while it does have a little bit of what you would expect from a superhero movie finale and, action climax, it plays against your expectations by doing something that's a little bit different, and especially when it comes to the story and certain characters and how that plays out. I really appreciated that, and this was much better even than I thought it was going to be. I thought it might be decent. The reactions from the early press screenings had me a little more hopeful because people were saying this is actually really very good, and I saw it and I was thoroughly impressed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the first time in a while, I won't dig into details for baby boy Ben over there, but
it's been out for 2 weeks.
The post-credit scene is one of the better ones they've had in a long time. And
because the post-credit scene in Brave New World sucked ass.
yes.
It was the worst.
Yeah, it's just the vaguest of teases to lead to something new.
But no, it's not even that, because what Brainiac,
the leader,
whatever, says, what, you think you're the only ones? There's different worlds. It's like, motherfucker, like, this is post-event. We know. Everyone knows there's other worlds.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure that Sam Wilson actually does, because they haven't had to encounter anything with the multiverse yet.
No, I mean, like, the way he makes it sound, other worlds, meaning like the Avengers didn't take place, where there's a portal to the space and aliens came in, like that happened.
That's different. He
doesn't say that though. He just says there's the way that he phrases it is like there's other worlds out there.
Well, that's the thing that sucks is I think it's the idea is that he's talking about parallel universes.
Exactly,
yeah.
But it's
also so vague that he could be talking about Fantastic Four. He could be talking about X-Men.
Exactly.
He could talk about anything. So when it comes along,
lame. It was so lame.
Yeah, the post credits.
And do you think that's because they don't know what they're setting up?
I think that at that point they just weren't really sure if that anything about that was going to have anything to do with what was coming. It's
become to the point where if you share something in a post-credit scene, now you're not even sure that guy's not going to be like a Me Too victim. Or not victim, sorry, that's the wrong word to say there, but a Me Too, like Kang the Conqueror was going to be a thing. You can't set that up because what if that guy goes away?
Yeah.
So now they're just gun shy about doing anything.
So that's not, and that's not, I don't think that's why that happened in particular. I think it was just
I'm just
timing.
saying in general, if you don't know what the blueprint is, then you just do this vague post-credit bullshit. Whereas in the original, let's call it MCU, when they did something, because they had a plan. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I feel like still with Brave New Worlds type shit, they have no idea.
I think it was because when they had to do it, they were in the middle of figuring out what was going to happen and how they were going to change and correct course after the King the Conqueror.
So then
stuff.
Do something funny rather than setting something up. Why can't you do that?
People expect it. But either way, the post-credit scene for Thunderbolts is fantastic. It's longer. It's funny. It sets up like what's coming. It's good stuff.
Okay.
So
I should see it.
You should see it. You should see it in theaters.
You know what? Should I see this in theaters or Sinners?
Ooh, Sinners is the better movie.
I'm gonna see them both.
See them back to
Sinners
back.
is the better movie.
I would see Sinners after I saw Thunderbolts, though.
I'm telling you,
no, like if I'm going on the same day.
Yeah,
it's a lighthearted thing to start with, and then you get into the more horror.
Let me say this: so if you're in your feelings on a day, Thunderbolts can get you. It got me at times. It really did.
Ben.
It won't get you, but
no, I'm a happy, well-adjusted individual. But Nate,
sad boy Nate,
it's not that good. I'll see it and cry.
No, it really was. I just really enjoyed some of the things they did with this film about mental health.
So you did tell me that, and I know that that's not really a spoiler at all. But I'm glad that there's, I guess there's an angle here that we haven't really seen necessarily before. Because if that's true, then depression and mental health issues and things like that. Everybody in the MCU has issues, but if they're actually addressing it head on, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
It's good and it's well done.
All right, what else did you see, buddy?
Okay, I also saw Until Dawn, which is a horror movie.
It's the After Sunset. No, it's Before Dawn. This is the fourth one.
That'd be great. But no, this is a horror movie based on a video game of the same title. It's a time loop movie, which makes for a lot of fun. In a way, it feels like Cabin in the Woods light or sugar-free.
Sugar-free.
But it still works for the most part. I think that they leaned a little too much into some cheap jump scares here and there. But it's a fun premise to see played out in this way, using the time loop for the story. It's there's some solid gruesome things that happen as well that you're not expecting, and so I had a lot of fun with it.
The best time loop horror film that I've seen has been Final Girls.
Yeah, it's not better than Final Girls, and I love Final Girls.
It's great.
Final Girls has a dose of cleverness to the script and the meta nature of the.
So it's not as good as that, but
not as good as that. It's just a fun, enjoyable.
So if it goes, if in my head, Happy Death Day is very good and Happy Death Day 2 is very good, and
those are on the upper echelon.
The Final Girls is the best,
yeah.
in my opinion. Where does this fall? Below all that?
Yeah, definitely below all those.
How far down though?
Not super far down. Like, I would never say this is a great movie, but I had a good time watching it. And
so I'm very specific now when I watch horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't have time for bad ones, and I saw Drop, right, with Luke Starkey at the cinema at a secret screening. We didn't know what it was going to be. I was very pleasantly surprised with that movie. If you haven't seen it, Drop is a great version of that, where it's definitely a thriller. Yeah, but there's so many comedic elements to it. I would recommend it.
This is definitely a more of a straight up horror movie. But there are some surprising things that happen that I was not expecting at all, and they're pretty, just gruesome.
So worth seeing.
I think it's worth checking out at home. Probably you don't need to necessarily go to theaters to see it, but it's fun. I liked it. I had enjoyable.
Anything else?
I also saw Tim Robinson's movie Friendship.
How is that?
Please keep this spoiler free. And I mean, I even hesitate to ask if it's good or bad. I don't want to. If you didn't like it, I don't want to know.
I couldn't spoil this movie for you anyway.
But it's good because it has like a 97% on
Okay, so it's good.
It's written and directed by Andrew DeYoung, and I was surprised to see that he wrote it because he so perfectly captured Tim Robinson's sense of humor.
Did they know each other?
Yeah, they've worked together before.
Okay.
But like, it feels like a movie that was written by Tim Robinson. Like, it is so up the alley of I Think You Should Leave.
And you and I have talked about this. Like, I don't love awkward stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Tim Robinson is the bridge.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward, and then he takes that awkward character, and that awkward character then becomes mad, and for some reason, that lets me off the hook.
Yeah.
Oh, they're actually the problem, and now I'm fine, right? Yeah. Something was happening to them, and now they're impacting other people.
Yeah.
So he is the perfect, like, I can't watch The Office, but I can watch I Think You Should Leave all day long.
That's so funny. But yeah, this is like Cable Guy and Election, basically, like, by way of I Think You Should Leave. Tim Robinson's so funny in it. Paul Rudd also very funny in it. Some things that I was genuinely caught off guard by. Like, there's just some things where they zig when you were expecting them to zag, and I was laughing so much during this movie. And I saw it with like the perfect audience too, because it was for the Chicago Critics Film Festival in Chicago. They had an early press screening for it, and everyone there was a fan of like I Think You Should Leave and Tim Robinson, and so the theater was like uproarious with laughter. It was the best way to see it, and I had heard from some people in the Slash Film Slack that it doesn't necessarily sustain itself, because it doesn't feel like you can like use that sense of humor or style for that long. And I totally disagree. I felt I was laughing the whole way through. I thought it worked perfectly for the roughly 90-minute runtime. And yeah, I hope people go out and see this very soon because it's very, very funny. Nate, what's the last movie you saw? The old bag of bones?
The last movie I saw was not a movie. It was a special.
We don't have time for this.
On the Netflix.
You want to talk about this.
Yeah,
put your bitch in.
That's fair. I do want to talk about this.
It was a special Conan. What's the official name of it?
The Mark Twain Prize for American Comedy.
The Kennedy Center presents
the
Mark
that's
Twain
it's like
Prize
19
for
words.
American humor.
And Conan O'Brien is the 26th recipient.
Yes, and the final one that matters until
Trump is no longer in charge of it and replacing all the board members and all that shit.
Right.
He accepted the award 2 months before the kind of the takeover of the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of the last one that we're going to see that is, because honestly, I'm not joking, like Joe Rogan's going to get it next year.
Yeah,
like,
Rob Schneider.
It will be, Kevin Sorbo somehow is going to win this thing next year. But, so Nate, I just watched this. This was actually the last thing that I watched.
Okay, so I was the first one to see it, and I told you guys you have to watch this.
I finished it 10 minutes before Brad showed up. Or actually, he showed up during the song at the end. It is brilliant. It is utterly brilliant, but please talk about it.
So this is given to. I mean, honestly, who are some of the other ones? Jerry Seinfeld, I think, is one.
Adam Sandler's got
David,
it.
David
won.
Letterman
Yeah,
himself.
David Letterman got it.
It is the kings and the queens of comedy that have left their kind of indelible
Actually,
mark.
to be fair, I don't think any of the kings or queens of comedy have gotten the Mark Twain.
Nice.
Oh, good one, good one.
Kevin Hart has received this. Dave Chappelle has received this. Will Ferrell has received this.
Yes.
Yeah, very famously. Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Yeah. So has Tina Fey?
I believe yes. So yes.
So it's literally, this is the highest honor that we as Americans can bestow upon a comedian to say, this is a career. It's kind of like an honorary Oscar, right? It is a career achievement.
Yeah.
This is not an up and comer is going to get this.
Yeah.
You're going to have 20, 30, 40 years in comedy.
Yeah, I have the list
and
here.
be insanely well respected by your peers.
Jon Stewart, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, some of the other names, Bill Murray, Carol Burnett, Ellen DeGeneres, Jay Leno, Tina Fey did win it, Bill Cosby, George Carlin. I mean, these are the heavy hitters.
Yeah,
right?
especially Bill Cosby.
He hit him hard.
Oh no! Gross.
So I am a
Did you say Bill Burr?
No.
no Bill
I
Barr.
was gonna say-
No,
it's
Bill
not.
Cosby.
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby. Sorry, I just wanted to say his name again. Rapist Bill Cosby won the award.
All right. So I am a huge fan of Conan O'Brien. He has informed so much of my sensibilities for comedy and made me laugh probably as much, if not more, than any human has ever made me laugh.
I found his show, I think, when I was in middle school, early high school, and I remember the masturbating bear. I remember the interrupter. I remember, and just my goodness.
I had to get through Jay Leno to get to Conan
Absolutely.
O'Brien.
I had to stay up late.
Yep.
And that was, so I was too young for David Letterman.
Yep.
But I was just in time for Conan. And while David Letterman was throwing watermelons off the 30 Rockefeller or whatever it was, Conan was doing things that it was this insane, silly, brilliant, silly.
Masturbating bear, and
He was the alt comedy for late night.
Yeah. It was just the things, and then the things he was doing were even later on, where the Walker Texas Ranger lever and the mouthing over of Bill Clinton and Arnold Schwarzenegger, just insane stuff. But he did it, but then he could still have Arnold Schwarzenegger on the show.
Yeah,
it's insane that you can kind of quote unquote punch up at Schwarzenegger, but then Schwarzenegger's like, I'll come on your show.
Yeah,
he has so much respect as somebody who is the funniest person in the writer's room became the funniest person in America, right? That's the line. I love this. And one of the things we talked about off air that I wanted to say was, when there are so many people coming up to talk about you, you've got Bill Burr, you've got Adam Sandler, you've got Sarah Silverman, you've got everybody. And I wonder how much crosstalk there is like, well, this is my bit, and this is how I'm going to attack it. So they don't just do the same kind of thing, because everybody on that show did something completely different.
Yeah.
And it was all very funny. Like Kumail Nanjiani does a TED Talk basically. And Sarah Silverman has people literally reach under their seats and find a prize, honestly. And just so then Bill Burr just does kind of normal stand-up. I wonder if they all have to kind of run things by each other. How's that work?
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I really don't know. And I will say though, because I've watched several other ceremonies for the Mark Twain Prize before. I don't know how many you guys have seen.
I mean, they've made 26 of them, or like 26 awards, and I've probably seen 24.
I've seen like 3. I'm sorry.
But no, I feel like this was the most varied as far as how the comedian chose to honor who was being honored.
I agree.
There was a very diverse range of like ways
what
of
they're doing.
Yeah, doing a little bit of roasting, also being being.
How would
serious
you
about
describe
it.
Tracy Morgan's?
I would say that it was top notch. No, I haven't seen Tracy Morgan.
Wait,
did he get it?
Did you? No. Like his performance.
Oh, I thought you were talking about he got the prize.
Did you not? Did you not watch the special?
No, of course I did.
No, he did a so Brad, and for Brad and anybody else who hasn't watched it, Tracy Morgan actually did a bit where he performed and thanked Conan.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's in this. When you watch the special, you'll see it.
Oh, I didn't.
He said that he bought a crayon mix of 150 colors, and Conan's skin color was not one of them.
I went to the bathroom.
That was one of the. That's from another podcast we do. How dare you?
No. Nate's talked about going to the bathroom and not pausing things.
Anyway,
Hey. I paused it on this one though because it was so funny.
Of course, no. This was.
It was incredible. Go watch it, guys. It's not a movie. I don't care. Go watch it.
Sad Nate as well. I got emotional at this times because so many of my heroes in comedy are getting older, right?
Yeah.
And this is Conan, right? Conan's getting older. Still putting out incredible content. I listen to his podcast. I watch the specials. So I'm not saying, he's David Letterman, who's like genuinely old, but
I think the takeaway for me was when a guy like Conan O'Brien is a writer for The Simpsons, SNL, has multiple different iterations of a talk show, there's reverence for everybody that does that, right? But the thing I took away the most was, it's not that he was just really good at being on TV. This is literally the funniest person I've ever met.
Yep.
And the people that the indelible lasting impression I got is all of those people, Sandler, Morgan, Sarah Silva, everybody. This is by far the funniest person I've ever been around in my entire life.
Yeah.
And they crafted how I inform my own comedy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody lauded that way as much, other than maybe a Letterman.
Yeah, I agree. It really gives you a sense of just how clever and sharp, smart, funny, quick he is in so many different facets of comedy.
Brad, and I'm not doing a bit. Brad will walk into a room at a party and immediately is the funniest guy in that room, right? Nate can walk into a room and immediately the attention's on it. He can tell a story better than most people. I feel like I walk into a room and I can kind of command attention and be funny. We have that in a local setting. Imagine with professional writers on everything from the Oscars through Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons, and everybody goes, but he's the funniest one.
Exactly.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Right? Respect, Conan.
And his not only is this just very funny, but the speech that he gives at the end when accepting his award is touching and brilliant and very self-aware, very
very prescient.
Yeah. It's just very acknowledges what's happening right now in a way that is subtle enough to mean something to the people who know why he's saying what he's saying.
That's what prescient means, Brad. You can just look it up later if you want.
Actually, Ben, I don't think you know what prescient means.
Yeah, no, it means relevant, current.
It doesn't actually.
No, it means that.
No, it means actually ahead of its time because you somehow knew something was going to happen later down the road.
Yeah, and the audience, they were recording this how long ago?
But they already knew what was going to happen.
No. This was recorded 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
I know, but here they already knew what was coming.
They knew what the first 100 days of Trump was going to be?
What? Yeah, everyone knew that it was going to be a fucking shit show, Ben. And if you didn't, I don't know what to tell you.
He was hopeful.
But no, it's a speech that is just.
He seems to be a lot more calm this time. That's what Ben.
It resonates and like it hits a very strong, meaningful
prescient.
note.
Yeah, prescient.
I just know what words mean.
Yeah.
I will say this: Conan was not trepidatious about giving his speech on that night.
Conan is one of those comedians too that like there are comedians where you're like that's all you could do. I mean, being a great comedian is great, right? But like Conan is one of those people that if he wanted his PhD, he could have gotten it,
yeah,
right. And so
the joke is like he goes, he's Harvard educated. The man is brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah,
he could have done it.
So it's one of the things I appreciate about him.
Yeah.
He chooses to be funny. Not because he has to be funny, but because he is funny, right? And so, again, I don't think we're overselling this. It is well worth it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's watching 9 mini stand-ups.
Yeah,
brilliant.
my 3 favorite bits I think are Kumail's little moment where he talks about The Simpsons and shows
the graph,
just the actual percentage of how much of The Simpsons Conan worked on. Nikki Glazer's thing with the interrupter was so
great.
brilliantly
Brian
orchestrated.
Stack is his name.
The back and forth with Brian Stack was so good.
So shout out to a different podcast. Ben and Susan have Life in the Credits. As, we did improv with them, but their Life in the Credits podcast interviews people that are just behind the scenes and stuff. They got Brian Stack on their show, and he got to talk about, he went to IU and working for Conan, and he was very much a big part of everything that Conan did. He was an actor basically and writer on that show. And so to see him tonight, I paused it. I told Ashley, like, so Ben and Susan interviewed. It's like this little fanboy moment. Brian Stack is brilliant in his own right, but it was so fun to see that. What was it there with Sarah Silverman's picture?
No, it was.
I love that.
It was actually Will Ferrell when he was telling.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is the story about how he said he wouldn't do it, and he said no, I didn't. He's like, you're such a liar.
That's rich.
No, that was so good.
Yeah,
that
that's so Conan. That's so Conan.
Yeah, it's so good.
He's so great.
Yeah, that was great.
So another film I want to talk about is a film I was given to watch by my friend Ben.
You're welcome.
And this is a film starring a Matt Damon. You have famously compared me to a young Matt Damon.
I have said you have the unearned confidence of a young Matt Damon.
Still a comparison to Matt Damon.
I know. Again, I don't know that you get it as much as you should, but yeah,
you think I'm like you think Nate Loucks at 43 is like a young Matt Damon.
I would argue that unearned confidence is stronger than earned confidence because you have the confidence and you didn't have to work to get it.
That's right.
So congratulations, Nate.
That is the worst thing you could have said about unearned confidence.
Good job, Nate.
All right. Yeah. Congratulations, Nate.
So this is a film from 1998, and it is about gambling. And
It's not about gambling at all.
It's about friendship.
It's about poker, and that's not gambling.
So why did you assign this film? Was this a little bit of like
I played poker in college.
So this is a film that if I watched this film when I was because we were what 16, 17 when this came out,
So, yeah.
I would want to be
Exactly.
like
I
because
wanted to
this
be.
is all about like a backroom poker.
And now you know
games
some of Ben's
and,
story.
like,
Risking it all, knowing
Exactly.
that you're better, secretly better than everybody else,
and it's that little bit of like
so
Matt Damon plays this guy who is
he's clerking for a federal
he's
judge,
a lawyer.
He can easily just spend his time doing that, but instead he's like, you know what?
But he's got this
I'm really good.
giftedness.
I'm
And he
really
is
good.
like he
Giftedness and an addiction.
It's not an addiction.
often goes hand in hand.
Shut up, Ben.
It's
Often
not-
goes hand
it's
in hand,
not.
right? And so as any addict happens, they can lose all of their life as their addiction
It's not
goes
an
poorly.
Gosh,
But hey, there's no good days like a good day when your addiction's going right.
Ugh.
And so yeah, this stars Matt Damon, Edward Norton, who how do you describe Edward Norton?
Spindly.
Just as yes.
What was the word?
Spindly.
There's something about Edward Norton that he does so well, but I don't know how to wormy kind of.
Well,
like,
I mean, the character's name is Worm.
yes,
His character's name is Worm.
but spindly is a very good word for him because he plays a type of character, and this isn't the only time he plays this type of character. But he plays.
It makes me wonder if he's kind of like.
That's,
Well,
it is a little bit.
I think everyone who worked on The Incredible Hulk would tell you, yeah, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Is he really?
He's
got
a little
that
bit of an
reputation.
asshole.
Actually, there's a story about how
Is it pretension or prima donna or?
I don't know if it's pretension
Because
because I do.
I'm better than you and you need to be on my level, but he
I-
hasn't earned it.
No, because
Does he have the unearned confidence of a young Matt Damon?
No, I think that I don't want to say pretentious because I do think that he does have some of the credibility to back it up and the talent and the integrity and stuff. I just think that the way he approaches things is he can be a little too pushy and stubborn about how he approaches it.
So basically, I'm doing it this way, and you disagree. You're wrong.
Yeah, and yeah, it's basically
And also, you should do it this way.
yeah, because like that's the kind of the
So,
story.
ladies and gentlemen, this is how Nate and I deal with Brad.
That's the story of what happened with him working with Marvel, and after Incredible Hulk, Marvel kind of established basically what they refer to as like a no asshole rule, that like they're not going to work with anybody like that again.
Wow. Well, and good for them
Yeah.
because it's paid off for Marvel.
Ben, your talk about gambling not being an addiction reminded me of a really fun.
So no, gambling is an addiction. Poker is not gambling, so poker is not an addiction. That's what I'm saying. Poker is a
Poker's
skill.
not gambling. For
It's a skill.
For some people, it's not gambling. For a lot of people, it is.
Well, sure.
This social media exchange that was someone named John Hislop. I don't know. This is an infamous? I don't know. Someone with a blue check mark, so it probably suck. He said, "Can't wait to gamble today." Literally shaking. That's called dedication. And someone responded, "That's called an addiction." And he said, "Buddy, I've been gambling every day for 20 plus years. It's all I think about, and I still haven't gotten addicted. So doubt it's happening."
Exactly. And that's a fake thing
Yeah,
that happened.
of course.
But yeah, I mean, because poker is math.
Wait,
right?
which part is fake? The addiction?
The exchange. But poker is basically broken down as the better you are at math and odds, the better you are at poker. It is not what you
Well,
see.
not even math and odds, but also playing the player.
That's the thing. Like people think that it's that, and I'm that's not a bit. You think like looking at the guy, is he bluffing? Is he not? It's not. It's iterations. how many times has that person folded the best hand? That's math, right? You look at a guy and you stare him down and like, is he going to bet and is he bluffing me? I can read a man. It's so much more like I have a 12% chance to hit. I need to fold.
No.
You need to know the math. That's all it is.
I agree with you to that to some extent, but I don't mean it in like the way that's presented cinematically. I do think, and you're better at poker than me anyway, but I think that there is an element to it of like that you can trick somebody into thinking that you have.
And there is, but that's based on patterns, right? If somebody is known, if you play with your buddies on a Friday night game and you play every Friday for a year, right? And you and I play in this game, there's 6 other people, and you always fold unless you've got the best hand. And we know that about you. And then the very final time we play, we don't know it's the final time, but for some reason this is going to be the last game that you're ever going to play in, and you bet big. You bet really big. Everybody's going to know that you've got it.
Sure.
And then you don't have it because that's a bluff. But it's based on everything they know about you previously. It has nothing to do with in that moment. Like the problem with rounders is that in this moment he's never played against people and he's reading them and understand their ticks and their tells, and that's really not how it works. You have to have an established baseline for at least a few sessions, at least a few hours, just kind of pick up their tells and this and that. And it doesn't.
That's how good he is, though.
Exactly. He walks into the judge's chambers and he just calls out like everything's happening. That's a savant. That's somebody who's autistic.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he knows.
Okay, so
Nate,
again,
did you like Rounders?
I
like this film quite a bit.
Yeah, we know you love it, Ben.
It felt very 90s.
I love it.
Yeah, you love gambling. We get it.
What do you think about John Malkovich?
I thought you were going to say Totoro.
No, well, both. Kanish is fantastic. Hey, can I drive the bread truck? But no, Malkovich
is fantastic.
He's playing such a silly accent.
Which I feel like
that man, he's manly. Like, what are you doing?
Which sometimes I wonder if that's the real John Malkovich.
That's his real voice.
Yeah. But no, this movie has so many great actors in it as well, and they're all pretty young, right? But I really love this film. It was one of those films, and I didn't expect it. I knew it was going to be good. You gave it to me, and I know you love this film, but
College Ben watched this film 35 times.
I totally
still
get
watch
why.
it once a year.
I totally get why, and it moves pretty quick. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of suspense. It's just. It's really good.
No, it's a fun movie.
I don't want to ruin it because I won't do it justice, but Matt Damon has a very good story about John Malkovich's accent on the set of Rounders.
You just need to search. What do you Google? You Google.
Just look up Matt Damon's story, Rounders, John Malkovich.
And you'll hear it, and it's incredible because, and again, we will not tell the story, but long story short there, everybody's waiting for Malkovich to start his role, right? Everybody wants to see what he brings to the table, and something happens. They do a line, and then Malkovich leans in and says something funny to Matt Damon. It's so worth your time, though. It's a very if you haven't seen it, we'll send it to you. It's awesome.
I would love to see it.
What else do you see, buddy?
That's it.
Wow.
Those 3 things.
That's all.
That's it.
You've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm doing work on my backyard right now, and that's been taking
Your
some
dad's
time.
doing backyard.
No, he had surgery, so I'm on my own.
I saw him in a walker the other day.
Hey, I'm not lying to you. He had surgery.
Okay.
So I don't even have his help anymore. It's just me. And I'm like,
I don't know what
10% as good as he is at this stuff.
Fucking you. 5%.
Yeah, 10%.
Like Tim Konowitz is sitting here. I'm like, I'm 1%. like you said 10%. I'm laughing at you. Your old man and my old man are just run circles around us.
What about you? What did you see? Are you? I see like 19 films.
I pulled up the list, buddy.
See, he keeps getting on my ass for he's the one who has like a list a mile long.
I know.
But here's the problem.
Your top 5.
I don't know, but I don't talk about him for 20 minutes like you do.
Yeah, and you know what? No one wants to hear you just say, "Yeah, it's good. It tastes like gum."
I watched Upgrade.
Great movie.
Remember that one?
Fucking badass.
It's fantastic.
So good.
It's a great revenge film about AI and a guy who gets an implant in his spine that he can walk in after an accident, and it's a thriller and it's gory, but it's fucking. I've seen it, but I did a rewatch just to see now that AI and my best friend ChatGPT is a thing. I want to see how it holds up. Holds up tremendously well. Still fantastic. Watch Upgrade. That was great. I watched Inside Out 2 again with the boys. I'd seen it before when it first came out, and now I watched it again. And now, honestly, having a couple of kids in my life, it switches it up a little bit. They're not quite at the puberty stage yet. So watching prepubescent kids watch something about what they're about to go through is kind of funny, because like Rune is 11 and he's a bit of a late bloomer, and he's watching this film, but like, why would they do that? And I'm like, oh, buddy, you're gonna get, because he doesn't get mad like she gets mad in the movie.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get embarrassed like she, because those are heightened emotions. And he's kind of aloof and kind of all over the place. He will get there, and so will his younger brother. And it's just fun to watch them because they don't believe it's going to happen.
Yeah.
They have no concept of like, well, I wouldn't do that, buddy. We know it's going to happen. Don't worry. So that was fun. I watched that. Have you ever heard of a movie called Old Henry?
Is that the one with the kid and the pilot's cap? And
Nope. This is a Western
no.
with, what's his name? Oh, my word. Who played Abomination?
Tim Roth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. Shit. Nope, that's wrong. Who played the older brother in Old Brother? Old
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yes, thank you. Tim Blake Nelson. Oh, brother.
Where art thou?
Where art thou? Thank you.
Oh yeah, I know this. I haven't seen it, but I know what this is.
So this is a Western starring him, and I looked him up after watching Brave New World, and I was just on his
Captain America.
Sorry, Captain America: Brave New World. I looked him up after watching that, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this movie. And so I put it on, and it's a 90-minute Western where he plays Billy the Kid. But what if Billy the Kid really didn't die? What if Billy the Kid
became a ghost?
Moved with his son, and his wife dies of tuberculosis. What if he's just a farmer somewhere now, and his old life kind of comes up and catches up with him? And it's fucking badass.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Because it's grounded. It's not, oh, he's going to come out guns blazing like some remake of the Magnificent Seven. Ugh. It's a very like, do what I tell you, boy. You don't want that life. It's very gritty like that. And Tim Blake Nelson plays such a nondescript, just kind of, it's almost like a Weasley, like just downtrodden man. He's weak. And it's like, oh, that used to be Billy the Kid. Mm-hmm. And then at the, the crescendo of the film where he's actually called to task to become that guy again, and you see why they say, well, you've now done it. You've now unleashed hell. It's a really fun turn there, and it's gritty and bloody, and I highly recommend it. I had a good time watching it. I was never bored. It's a short film. I really enjoyed it.
What compelled you to watch it?
I just told you. I literally said the words while I watched it.
But why?
Nate, were you listening? Actually, this is a good thing for Nate. Nate, do you know why?
Yeah, of course, Brad. Tell him.
I hate the both of you so fucking much right now, because I literally told you I was watching Captain America, which you corrected me on.
Oh no, but
and then I went to the character page.
I heard that, but I'm talking about like why specifically like that movie jumped out at you, like, oh, I need to watch it, because there could have been any Tim Blake Nelson movie.
I was scrolling through them, and like he's in a lot, but like that one spoke to me. Like I clicked on it, and it had pretty good reviews, and it's a Western. I love Westerns,
yeah,
and so that's why I just decided it. But yeah, it was from literally because I bought Captain America instead of renting it, and so it allows you to go through and like see the other cast.
Gotcha.
You click the cast, and it goes through those movies. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen him in a lot of stuff. Oh, I've never seen this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did they ever call him Billy the Adult?
They did not. They called him William the Adult.
Okay, I like that.
I watched Warfare.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
The A24 film, where it takes place in real time over about 2 hours of an actual battle in Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever it was. I can't remember. Stomach churning.
Yeah, I've heard the violence and like the tension in it is pretty hard to endure.
What's the word?
It's called Warfare, and
I've even heard of
it's
this
basically 25 minutes of Jarhead type where you're just bored. You're like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, honestly, it's not what the fuck am I watching. By the way, it's more like, okay.
Also, let's be clear, Jarhead. That's the intention.
No. I'm so sorry. I do mean that in a positive note. Like, Jarhead was great for
it's an anti-war
trying to show you the boredom of war.
Yeah. And
so for the first 20-25 minutes of Warfare, they're just being people in war and bored, and that's what you do. But then, something happens, and holy shit, for the next 90 minutes, it is a gut-wrenching, people are dying. You know, you're losing your best friends. How are we going to get out of here? We're lying on the radio, impersonating officers to make things happen. Like you're desperation, you know, and it's so thick, and you're in it. And I never even looked away from the film. I never looked away once. I didn't blink. There was one time that I'm not joking. I'm watching this, and one of the boys came downstairs. I go, nope. And he just walked away, and because I was so engrossed in this, and I didn't want him to see what was on the screen. But this was
because it was tits.
Yes, Brad. In the movie Warfare, there were tits.
Oh yeah, because there's no war movie that has boobs in it. Give me a break. Jeez.
Okay, what's your favorite war movie with boobs? I can't think of any.
Big tits on Iwo Jima.
Oh no! Do we cut that? I'm not sure if we can get. Can you say that?
It's a war.
It happened. It's a war. Don't worry, it's Japanese. It was all censored.
Oh no!
Well, or yeah, cut all that. I don't care. All right. Did I ever talk about that movie Flow?
Yes.
Okay, so I forgot to put it on the list, so I put it down now. I watched The Luckiest Man in America.
Oh, with Paul Walter
how is
Hauser?
that? I love Paul Walter Hauser.
So I loved Paul Walter Hauser in this film. He embodies this kind of. So the story of Luckiest Man in America is what's the game? I don't remember what it's
Isn't
called.
it Press Your Luck?
Yes, where it's like no whammies,
Yeah.
stop, right? So he recognized a pattern, and he could just dial it in and be like, I'm gonna hit it, I'm gonna win. So he won the largest jackpot in game show history at the time by and it's not cheating, it's kind of card counting.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And the trailer makes it out to be like, oh, they're gonna come after him and threaten him and this and that. And yes, there's a little bit of that, but the real movie is about how weird this guy is and how just off-putting he is. Like he drives an ice cream truck to the across the country.
I'm sorry, you don't like ice cream?
It's just it paints him in this guy's very strange. He's estranged from his mother, or sorry, from his ex-wife and his daughter, and he's kind of doing it to like get back in their good graces. And kind of like the president of the network or somebody in charge of the show makes a mistake and like lets him on, even though they definitely know he shouldn't be on. And so he starts winning, and then it becomes like it's more of there's a bit of Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night vibe here, where it's like, in real time, how do we do this? Like this guy's winning. Okay. What do we do?
Interesting.
It's very and again, the behind the scenes, they're freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And so they're trying very hard. And the other two people that are on the show with him are trying to like, oh hey, good for you. And he's like, he's awkward. He doesn't know how to interact with. It's a very interesting movie. I won't say that it's like a great movie.
Yeah.
I think that Paul Walter Hauser does an incredible job of embodying that persona, and everybody around him is pretty good. It's a long movie for what the premise is. It's,
gotcha.
I don't know how they would have made it better, but I liked it a lot, but it is very much because of the performances and not necessarily what the movie is.
Okay,
if that's fair.
Sure, I get it.
Let's see. I watched Flight Risk.
How's that?
Oh, buddy. So I watched. This is Mark Wahlberg
and
playing
in
his clearly shaved head. Not like, dude, it's okay. Just put on a fucking bald cap.
Yeah.
But you shaved your head. You look like you can grow that hair back immediately. So the story is Topher Grace is going to testify against the mob, and a woman that has a troubled past with the FBI is tasked with flying him back from Alaska, and the pilot is Mark Wahlberg. Well, turns out he's a hitman for the mob. And then it's like, oh, we knock him out, and now how do we fly this plane? And then he wakes up and he tries to escape again. The weirdest part about this movie, it's not very good, but the weirdest part, the most engaging part of this film is the level to which Mark Wahlberg's character is aggressive. And like there's a scene, and I will spoil a little bit of this because who cares? It's Flight Risk. But there's a scene in which she gets like radioed in like, oh, the pilot, is not the pilot. And they're like, yeah, we know it's like the mob hitman guy. Yeah, but no, but he killed the pilot, the original pilot.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I know. No, but like he tortured him. And they explained for like fucking 30 seconds what he did to this man and like took pleasure in it. And he's that guy. And it's like, oh, so it's not just that he's a hitman that's trying to take.
Weirdo.
He's a fucking serial killer type. So that aspect I did not see coming, and it makes it a little bit more interesting than it would be. But it's still because he's like licking his lips and shit and looking at him like, I'll do things, and it's like, what is going on here? It was in fucking insane.
Oh,
so
Mel.
the level of bonkers that this film is top notch. Like I was in it for that. Not a very good film, but I'm like kind of like if the three of us were watching it, we're like, we're gonna make fun of this, but also have a good time watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so good in that way.
I feel like you were set up to like this one anyway because it's
Mel
directed by your
Gibson,
favorite filmmaker.
Exactly.
Whatever.
As you've often said, anything with the thumbprint.
All right, I gotta get through this. I got three more.
Did Mark Wahlberg ever have a point when his character was taking over a plane that he said, "This is how I would have stopped 9/11"?
Well, he's not British.
That wasn't British. It was Boston. You know it.
I should always stop with 9/11.
No, that's not how I did it all.
He's a figgy pudding. Anyway, I watched Neighborhood Watch. You heard of this film? It's got your boy. Shit, what's his name? Fuck. Novocaine. Who's Novocaine?
Oh, Jack Quaid.
Yeah, Jack Quaid plays kind of a guy.
Oh yeah,
that's on the
I
spectrum
saw that.
a bit, and then it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a curmudgeonly old man who is a campus security guard that has overstayed his welcome at campus security. Is told, "Don't come back, man. You've retired." And so he's just like, but the autistic kid next door, this girl goes missing, but he thinks that it happened, and he's got a bit of schizophrenia or whatever, where maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, and the only person he knows to go to is the next door neighbor who's like this curmudgeonly asshole, like racist ex-cop.
Okay.
But it's not a cop; he's an ex-security guard, and they partner up to try to find this girl.
It's a trailer for this.
It's a very weird film, but I really liked it. It's because it's just them too. So he calls us. He's like, "Oh, dipshit." He calls him a lot of things that are pejorative. It's not a fun thing. And so Jack Quaid's character pushes back and says, "Hey, I'm not slow. Like I'm on medication. And I'm trying my best." And it's kind of like this, like a offbeat buddy comedy almost a little bit, but there's definitely a serious vibe behind it. I don't know. It's just a weird movie. It's okay. It's not wonderful, but it's like the actors do a great job. And
is it funny?
So yes, it is, like, because he's so, like, he's such an asshole, and Jack Quaid's character is so innocent / dumb. They do play it for the right amount of laughs. It's not, they don't punch down, at him being, mentally ill.
Maybe don't call him dumb then.
I don't know. I mean, he comes across, because he's, quote unquote hallucinogenic. He comes across dumb to other people in the world, right? Or
maybe a word like naive or
no, but you'll see. You should watch it.
Wow.
I'm painting it through the lens of Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, who is basically calling him dumb the whole time.
Or basically you.
Okay, calm down. So I watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie.
I still need to watch this.
It's so fun.
Is it good?
I've heard it's so fun.
Good, guys. I mean, this is classic Looney Tunes, like in the best way. I'm watching it with Rune and Ender, and I'm like, guys, this is what I grew up on. This is the level.
Yeah.
It used to get, and because Rune is old enough now where he's like, that doesn't make sense. He's kind of finding his way with comedy. He said, but that doesn't make sense. But that's the humor.
Yeah.
Like, this is why. Like, why would that happen? It's so wonderful. It's a great throwback. I was just so happy.
Nice.
Yeah. And it doesn't have a lot of cameos from other characters. It's just really Porky Pig and Daffy Duck. And that's enough. You know, it's sustainable enough for that. And then
if you like that, because from what I understand, this is very close in vein to the new Looney Tunes shorts that they did on Max. Because those are really good too.
No, and I bet you it's the same kind of vibe. There's a resurgence here, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And now we might get to see
Coyote versus Acme. Yeah,
which would be
Ketchup Entertainment did pick it up, so it should get released.
Cool. And then the last movie was the movie. It was assigned to me. It was called Talk to Me. It's a horror film that Mr. Brad Oman, I believe,
That's me.
It's a monkey paw situation almost, where they. Sorry, it's a monkey paw situation, meaning
there's a hand.
There's a dead hand. And it's a cut off hand from a psychic that has been embalmed, and you hold it and it grips you, and then you can you are embodied by the spirit of a deceased person.
Yeah. And it's a TikTok trend that all the teens are doing.
Yeah. And so, like, when you grab the hand, you then across the table from you, you see the dead person talking to you. And as you say, you have to say, talk to me. And then you have to say, I let you in. So after the talk to me part is I see you and how creepy you are, and then I say I let you in, and then the demon or whatever embodies you. And if you go 90 seconds or less and you blow out the candle, it's fine. If you go over 90 seconds, the demon has an opportunity to stay. And guess what happens? In one of our more innocent people, the demon gets to stay. And so that is a story about the residual effects of a demon being inside you for a long time.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it's very good. Like, it's very fun. I had a good time watching it. The end is slightly predictable, but other than that, I had a good time.
Yeah, I think that there's some great scenes in this
Oh,
movie
absolutely.
that are so totally unnerving and gnarly.
But not gory or over the, like, honestly.
Yeah.
They flash to the person you're seeing, and that person maybe was bloated because they were dead from being underwater.
Right.
But they don't lean on it.
It's not overly grotesque.
Yeah, it's not. It's honestly, it's not that bad in that way. Because I don't love movies like that. I want you to focus on, the story rather than just the gross out factor.
That's why I know you would like this.
I know. I really liked it, Brad. This is a good one. Unlike most of the sponsors, this is a good one.
Yeah, we got you back on the horror train.
That sounded horrible.
I know exactly.
Hey, man, back on the horror train.
Like ladies. Well, let's quickly talk about some trailers.
What? Oh, you slapped me like I'm gonna do a trailer song?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I'm tired.
I'm so tired. I'm
Nate's
so
more tired than you.
Brad, you're the only one that's not tired. Buddy, you got to do it.
I'm always tired.
Please,
That's my
please.
secret.
You
I'm-
just got up
I'm
like
asking
4
you-
hours ago.
I'm asking you as a favor. I'm just so tired right now. It is currently 11:37 at night. We have already recorded the 10 to 1. I'm exhausted. I would love it if you came with a trailer song. I'll be in your debt.
Wow.
It would be helpful.
Well, what can I do except take this opportunity to sing a song that is close to my heart? Something that we all know, and we all love.
He's stretching.
I'm always stretching.
That's Nate's laughing so hard because we all know that's patently false.
I love exercise, as you know. Whatever happened to watching movie trailers with Ben and Nate and Brad, your friend, who like watching movies? And there's something that we're always watching movies around the bend.
Dude, that is the most Ben trailer song you've ever come up with. You said Ben, Nate, and Brad.
No, watch movies around the bend.
But no. But you also almost rhymed something with something. Oh, dude, I feel bad for you right now. That was horrible.
I don't feel bad for me. I like the Full House theme song.
You have too much confidence.
Or
Whatever
right
happened to Ben, Brad, and Nate?
No, movie trailers.
We watched movie trailers and some of them all great.
So you can
See,
do
that would have been better.
Well, you should have done it then.
I didn't, though.
Yeah, exactly. So you're worthless.
Anyway, we watched something for Zoolander 5.
Ugh. We watched the trailer
I'm so
for
tired.
Now You See Me.
Just so tired.
Now You See Me. Now You Don't.
So, okay.
I like these films. I don't know why you guys don't.
I don't.
You're a dork, Nate.
I do. I do like Now You See Me films.
I like the first one. Brad and I talked about this off air. Brad, explain to the people why we don't like these films.
Not enough boobs.
I hate giving him the tee up. I tee him up and he's like, tits. I'm like, what are you doing? No.
So that's what you guys talked about?
No.
Well, that's what Ben brought up immediately. He's like, I don't understand why we don't see more nudity in these movies.
No, I literally said.
I'll talk about seeing me, and I don't see anything.
Oh, my God. Now you see these. Now you don't. That's my favorite strip club ever. No, we talk about the practical effects. Like, it's CGI, and it's like, if it's supposed to be an actual magic trick, but they're using CGI, it looks so fake that, in this trailer, people are literally embodying the same person. And it's this quick cut where you see like almost a ghostly image of them jumping into a body.
Yeah.
That's not how that would look if it's a real magic trick on stage. I want to see a practical effect.
And it's not even just that though. It's just, to me,
No, but it is.
It's that on top of the fact that they don't try to make it even look real
Right.
or make the trick practical. And I would like it if the magic actually felt like something that people could actually do, as opposed to it all being enhanced by digital effects.
To the end that I said no, but they're like, I believe the premise is they can actually do real witchcraft and magic. He goes, no, they can't. And I go, no, they can, because in the second one I feel like that's what. And he again, it's because they use so much CGI that it looks like it's.
Yeah, there's no
Magic,
they're not
real
doing
magic.
actual magic. They're just doing things that are like would feel unbelievable because of they're so good at it. Essentially.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Nate, why do you like these movies?
I just think they're fun. They're just fun films. And I like the how's it going to happen at the end, the Italian Job type of what's going to happen to be the foil, right?
And that's the thing. I think I love a good heist movie, but I want it to feel like it could actually happen. You know, like Ocean's
I'm
11.
okay with suspended.
Ocean's 11 is elaborate, but
Sure.
it still feels like it could work. You know. And so, like, with Now You See Me, I just don't ever get the sense that, like, oh yeah, that someone could easily pull that off.
I like this team. I like the cast. I like Jesse Eisenberg in this
that's
role.
fine. But like, who's clamoring for this? When was the last one made?
It's been I think
10 years?
2016,
Okay, 8 years.
something like that. It's been a while.
Like, they're like, oh, we finally got our schedules to, align. Is that what this is?
I mean, I maybe that's part of it, but also I think that it's just these movies are popular. Like people do like them.
Sure.
So I don't know.
I'd rather see Zombieland 3.
No, not me. Zombieland 2 sucked.
It didn't suck.
It sucked.
It didn't suck.
No, it sucked pretty
It was
bad.
fine.
No, bro, it sucked pretty bad.
All right. What was the other trailer we watched?
We watched the trailer for The Smashing Machine, which is an A24 movie. Ben.
Listen, this is one of the ones I watched where I'm like, okay, this trailer looks good.
Yeah, this is a Safdie movie. So for those of you that like yourself some uncut gems, that's gonna get you going here. And Dwayne Johnson, stepping into what seems like his awards era.
Sure.
Looks like he's going for that Oscar for this one because not only is he starring in this, where he's the lead, playing a real UFC fighter before UFC became popular and whatnot. He's also doing a Scorsese movie. So he's trying to shift gears here a little bit.
I mean, there was enough blowback about his kind of like late to set, pissing in bottles type thing. I wonder if that had anything like where his management was like, listen, the action star shit, and the blockbuster stuff's one thing, but we should probably get a little bit more serious so that people think about you differently. Do you think that it had anything to do with it?
I think that maybe played into it a little bit. I think if anything, it's just that he's done so many action movies and action comedies.
You've got to reinvent yourself a little bit, otherwise, because not everybody's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I think that he probably wanted a change of pace, and this is a good way to do that.
Because I if anything, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is somebody who probably does want to challenge himself. I mean, he's that guy.
Yeah, he's a workaholic. And he does throw himself into everything. Even the bad movies, I respect his hustle. I appreciate how much he goes for it and how much he throws himself behind everything he makes, even if it doesn't turn out that great.
Yeah, I mean, we saw San Andreas, we saw Rampage, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson isn't necessarily the problem with those films. He's robust and in for it and committing to the bit all the way through.
Yeah, I would say it probably doesn't necessarily show his range,
right?
And he can be funny,
yeah,
but he's not necessarily like a full blown comedian.
And that was the problem with Baywatch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where we talked about that. It's like you can't have Zac Efron and him be in Baywatch. You actually have to have a real comedian.
Yeah. But yeah, in this case, I'm all for seeing what a director like Benny Safdie and eventually someone like Martin Scorsese can do with a Dwayne Johnson. What about you, Sleepy Nate?
He literally just woke up.
For our listeners, we recorded the 10-1 before this, and now it is almost midnight, and we're still recording. And so we are a little bit more tired. But this film looks great. I'm a little nervous about Dwayne The Rock Johnson in this role. I think he could do fine.
But did you see that? Are you trepidatious about it because of what you saw in the trailer?
Just because of what I know about.
Sure.
I think The Rock can be a lot of fun in films, but I think he could tend to be one note, right?
Sure. But I gave you Pain and Gain.
But yeah, for sure. And I'll say everything I see in the trailer about this, it looks like he's got it, right? But to say I'm not nervous is not true. This looks a lot of fun.
I mean, I'll watch this.
I don't know if it looks fun.
No, I mean, like, this looks good. This looks like
engaging.
I guess, yeah.
Nate's tired.
Dwayne
he means
Johnson
engaging.
playing this type of role is fun to me. Like it brings them into something different.
Yeah.
And actually, I did not recognize him at first. I'm like, dude is jacked.
I really did. Like the very, very first, because I knew nothing about this when I saw the trailer first. The very first opening thing, I'm like, whoa, who's the Hulk?
Yeah.
And then immediately I was like, oh, that's actually The Rock. But they're doing a pretty good job of prosthetics there.
Yeah, the hair and the eyebrows are
Crazy.
definitely.
And then later in the trailer, he's bald, and I'm like, whoa, that's still another one.
Still looks different. Yeah.
Pretty good. Well, that does it for another episode of Ghost. We're gonna let Nate go to bed. You know, he's been buddy. It's been a long day. But very quickly, I've been watching Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm on
How
Apple
is
TV.
that?
It's actually really good.
Is it?
I like it a lot, and it's because of John Hamm.
Compare it to something.
Yeah.
It's not. I can't
Shrinking.
really.
It's as good as
no,
Shrinking.
it's-
You said
no,
it's
no,
as
no,
good as
no,
Shrinking.
No. It's not at all. It's for an Apple TV show. It is like Ted Lasso is my golden child, and then Shrinking is right there, and then Bad Monkey is like way down, and then this is way better than Bad Monkey, but not quite as good as Shrinking.
Okay.
Like I like the characters. I like and again, this is I'm only 4 episodes in, I think, so I'm gonna give it its time, just like I did with Bad Monkey. But this has so much more upside. Olivia Munn's great. Amanda Pete's great. John Hamm's great. Whoever the guys that are playing like the other characters. I think it's well worth your time for a couple of episodes. I'm having a good time with it.
How does it compare to Red Shoe Diaries?
Emmanuel in Space is better.
Well, that's a movie.
I don't know what you're doing with Red Shoe Diaries. I just knew it was an HBO show.
It's actually a Showtime show.
There we go. That's what I don't know about it,
Yeah.
and you do, so that's
And
weird.
it was a sexy one.
Cool.
Yep.
How about Herman's Head? How does it compare to that?
I've never seen Herman's Head.
Yeah, it was an HBO show.
Was it a sexy one?
Yeah, because in his head he got all those fantasies.
Oh, I thought it was about dick sucking.
Ooh, no, it's what goes on in Herman's head when he's thinking about things.
What? Like was he getting dick sucking?
Okay, calm down, Arliss.
Oh, Arliss sucks.
I like Arliss.
You would.
Robert Wool, good guy. Next time we'll talk about that in detail. But no, thanks for staying up with us.
What day is it? Jim, I'm so tired.
I'll watch. My goal is to watch Sinners and Thunderbolts by the next time.
Do you want to go to the theater and see it with me?
I do really want to do that.
We're
So
gonna
good.
assign movies too.
Yeah, it'll be a fun
Yeah.
friendship.
Keep it going. Shut
Yeah.
up, Nate.
So thanks for listening. It's good to hear from you guys on the comments.
to
We
pee.
love you. And Mitch, I hope it's happy noon or whatever time it is over there.
Hey, keep strong during the tariffs.
Keep strong during the tariffs, says Nate Loucks. All right, bye everybody. Bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?